Hey bosses, it's Nina, and we're back talking about Anchor FM app. Well, we're actually not talking about the app today. We're going to be talking about the desktop version, and I'm going to teach you how to make your own podcast for free with Anchor. And so we're going to jump in, but I do want you to know this is an absolutely free app, and this tutorial's for beginners, so stay tuned as I walk you through. Now, if you're new here, I do want to let you know that I am very, very close to 10,000 subscribers. So please, please, please subscribe to my channel. I'm like super duper anxious about reaching that 10,000 because I get new features. Also, I wanted to let you know that I have done a tutorial on Anchor FM before. This is actually how to edit your podcast. So I will leave that link in the description below. It's basically how to record it with someone else and then go back and edit it. But today it's going to be all about setting it up. After I finish this video, I will also include a link to my next video, which is going to be all about how to use your Anchor app on your Android. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is you need to sign up. So I'm going to click on sign up. You're basically creating your own podcast show. Okay, so you just put in your name, email address, and password, but I want to bring out, if you have a podcast on another platform, you can actually import this into Anchor. You'll learn a little bit later in this tutorial that you can actually use Anchor kind of as your foundation or your base and then push it out to other podcast platforms. So I would use podcast if you're up for it. All right, let's go ahead and put in the information and click on sign up. Okay, let me save it to my little Chrome. So it's going to walk you through a series of items in setup. So we're actually going to go through that wizard, but I'm going to give you some additional items. Note that you're technically kind of set up and you can do your new episode now, but let's actually go through each of these items here. So when I click on new, I can actually start recording. Here you'll look at your messages. So as you're using Anchor, your callers, quote unquote, or people watching in the app can actually leave you messages, right? You have a library of previously recorded clips. So the way Anchor works is you can record different kind of sessions or sections and make that into one episode so you can reuse it. Think of maybe your intro, your outro, or someone has contributed to the channel. You can actually put those in there. You also have transitions such as free music. You can do that for sound effects, or you can do it in between each of the little sections that you're uploading. Also keep in mind, when you create your new episode, you can actually upload items from outside of Anchor. Anchor allows you to record on your phone directly. Even doing an interview, my friend Nicole and I had a podcast through Anchor where we would just call into Anchor, you click the button and it would call her, and we just edit it all in there. So you can actually do your entire podcasting, editing, trimming, transitions, all here in Anchor, or you can do it outside of Anchor and then just upload it here. All right. So I am going to actually just go to record so you can see. It will prompt you to allow your microphone, and you can start recording and select the type of microphone. But let's actually go up to the settings. I'm going to click on update settings. Now notice it has given me some default items. So I'm going to go ahead and put my podcast name in here. And description. Keep in mind that everything on the internet is searchable, so you're going to want to look for some key terms or keywords. If you've done SEO research in the beginning, I would move it over here, some of your keywords. You have up to 600 characters here, and it allows you to kind of it allows you to make your podcast searchable if you're using those key terms. You're also going to want to look at your category. I would definitely listen to some of these podcasts in the category first and then select yours. For instance, there's business, there's also entrepreneurship, there's also marketing. So I'm going to put this under entrepreneurship for now. and this is going to be learned it. Okay, this is just like Instagram or Facebook. Any of your handles should be the same. So if you have something that you're using throughout for your branding, I would use the same handle there. So I'm going to put in my website, which is learneditonline.blog. Okay. And then my name is Nina Thomas, but I'm going to put my brand name, sociallynina Thomas. My email address is in there. Now, you can include listener support links. So what that means is they can actually contribute to your show and your show notes in there. I'm just going to leave that as is. Or I'm going to turn that on right now, but we're not going to go deep into that. But you can actually customize your message. Basically, this is just like on Facebook, and I'm not sure that everybody knows, but Facebook and YouTube both have these features where your members can sign up for a membership or contribute to your channel to make sure you keep going. So it's great if you're an entrepreneur, you can do that. Also, you could include voice messages linked in your show notes. So the way I would use this is when you're going through a topic, you can ask your audience to kind of call in and they record messages. You can then kind of put it into your episode before you launch. Now, this is the important part. It's great that Anchor allows you to create your podcast for free, but you want to distribute it to other platforms. So for instance, and I hate that it still has my Nina, so I'm going to wait before I do this. This should not be, it actually should be this learned it link. Let's see if I can change it here. I can't. So we'll come back, but it's asking if you already have your platform. So if you're moving your podcast from somewhere else, you can actually paste in the links yourself to each of the podcast platforms. But I would just let Anchor send it out to everywhere because it's iTunes and Spotify and all kinds of other things. But after you post your first episode, let me say that again, after you post your first episode, that's when it begins working on distributing it, your connections to iTunes, Spotify, whatever other platforms. But the good thing is you have to do absolutely nothing. You just put in your show notes, your information, and it distributes it. And it's just a great way to get your podcast out there. Now, under advanced, this is your RSS feed. For those of you that don't know what RSS feed is, it's basically a list of things that comes from published material. So for instance, if you have a blog, there's an RSS feed of everything that you publish, all of your blogs. So if I want to syndicate it or repost it, I can just look at this feed of all of your blogs. Same thing with your YouTube videos, there's an RSS feed. Same thing with your podcasts. So I can take all of those. The way I would use this is I would put this in my social media marketing platform, add the RSS feed, so anytime you come up with a new episode and it's published, you can actually have through certain social media management platforms, it will automatically publish your podcast to your Twitter, Facebook, etc. Others, it allows you to pull that information and with one click, then distribute it to other social media platforms. So in all, it's just a great way to get your information out there and get more people to share it. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and choose English for this. And you want to choose whether your content is clean or explicit. Mine is going to be clean. One thing I didn't mention is you do want to add cover art. This is going to show throughout the different platforms, iTunes, Spotify. I keep on saying those because those are the ones that I listen to, but there's tons of podcast platforms. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to save. All right. Now it takes me back to this wizard where we're going through the podcast setup. So again, this is the description, all of the information that I already put in. The thing is, you have to have a description. So I'm just going to put teaching entrepreneurs, whatever. And I'll click on continue. All right. So this is taking you through what I had just told you. Remember, you can go here and edit all of it, or you can actually search for a photo, upload a photo. I'm just going to, let's do choose one for me. We'll leave it there for now. Now you can add text on top of it. So for instance, I can just add where it says learned it. I could leave that or change it. I'm going to leave this for now. I just want to make sure that you understand that you could add text and actually design your whole cover art here. I definitely would just create my own in Canva, PicMonkey, whatever you use, and upload it there. Now, once you upload it here or update it here, it will distribute to all of the other major platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'll say great thanks. I want them to distribute it. I'll update it later. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is set up whether you monetize your channel. Now, I'm not monetizing my podcast right now. A lot of times in YouTube and these podcast apps, people are so worried about monetizing and getting these commercials in there. But here's the thing. You're interrupting your listener. They're new to you, and you're probably only going to make like 50 cents after a couple months or maybe a couple of dollars. Truly not worth it. I'd rather just leave that off for now and let them kind of listen all the way through. But yeah, there's a lot of other things that you can do in here. I'm going to do a separate training or tutorial on how to go through and activate your kind of, I'm going to activate my listener support now, but how to create your episodes, how to record from your phone. The next video is actually going to be from the Android. So I am going to go ahead and activate my listener support now. Again, this is where you fill out the information so you can get paid. I'm going to do this outside of this tutorial because y'all don't need to know my information. But if you have any questions, ask them below. I'm open to creating more Anchor videos. I have at least one, if not two clients that will be starting Anchor podcasts. And I actually talked to a friend of mine who asked me about a couple of things the other day. So I will be creating more. Again, ask your questions below. Check out my other videos. Subscribe. Ciao.